Hey guys, it's Hunter. I haven't made a video like this in a while, so I thought to do another Walking Dead video. The thing I want to talk about is that I've been thinking for a while. I tweeted to AMC Talking Dead, but I don't think they read my question on the show because I didn't watch it last night. But I've just been thinking about this for a while. Could walkers survive in the winter? Because obviously the show is filmed mainly in the summer months, and I don't know, because I don't live there, I don't know if like Georgia or Washington or all those places get a lot of snow in the winter, but it makes you wonder, could walkers survive in the winter, and how would they survive? Because they're decaying corpses, right? So obviously they've lost a lot of muscle structure and they're basically just skin and bones. So how would they be able to survive in the winter? Do you think the snow would slow them down, or they would probably like freeze to death, you would think, because they're so freaking, what's the word? They're like broken down walking corpses. I don't think, I mean, it's even hard for me to walk around in the friggin' winter with a freaking huge ass giant jacket and long pants without freezing to death. Then again, I live in Canada and our winters here are like friggin' hell, but you would think for a decaying corpse that has barely any clothing on and it's skin and bones, you would think, wouldn't the winter slow it down or at least kill it? It's a thing that I really want to know, or would like for The Walking Dead to touch up on. I mean, obviously, I'm pretty sure they're coming to I think the 7th season is going to be the last one. But I highly doubt they're gonna do the last like 7th season in like winter or something like that. But it'd be interesting if like Scott Gimple or Robert Kirkman can like at least do like an interview and tell us why they don't show it in the winter, or what they would think would happen to the walkers in the winter. Because I mean, obviously like in season 6, the premiere episode, they had that huge buildup of walkers in that quarry. And it makes you think, if the winter would or does slow them down or kill them off, would you think there'd be less and less walkers? I mean, obviously, if you can curb stomp a walker so easily, like obviously Daryl's shown us many times how he can curb stomp a walker's skull and kill it, you would think, what if they're walking on ice and they slip and they fall and they whack their head hard enough on the ice? Don't you think you would just explode or burst open? I mean, I think it would, to be honest. I mean, if you can hit your head pretty hard on ice and people can have concussions or break bones. I know someone who slipped on ice and they broke their elbow because they hit it hard enough. You think these walkers, they're already dead, and they've lost all muscle mass and all the fat and all that stuff that would surround your bones, and obviously their bones are already brittle and weak as it is. If you can easily just stomp on their skull and crush it effortlessly. So won't you think that if they were to slip and hit their head hard enough, wouldn't it just burst open? I mean, I could be just wrong, but it's an important question. I want answered. So I don't know. Would the winter affect the walkers? Why or why not? I was hanging with my friends the other night, and there's this guy who was there with us, and we were talking, and he said personally he doesn't think the apocalypse would last longer than a month, especially in Canada because of the winter. And you think it has something to do with their cells. I don't remember exactly what he said, but personally, I don't think walkers would do that well in the winter. You might get those few groups of walkers that would manage to survive the winter, depending on where you are and how bad the winter gets. But obviously this is a worldwide virus, so everywhere in the world is affected by this. So there's some places that get snow really fucking bad, and Canada is one of them. I should know, I live here. But personally, I think if the zombie apocalypse did actually happen, the winter would have a really big effect on the walkers, or the zombies, whatever you want to call them. I kind of want to know what would happen. Like, I need this to be answered. Like, it makes me mad that they don't touch up on how the walkers act in the winter on the show. I mean, obviously they film throughout the summer. I just really want to know. Don't you want to know? I want to know. There has to be a logical explanation behind this. Like, obviously they have survived during the winter. We've seen all the walkers that are in the show. And I don't know if anyone out there who lives in Georgia or Washington, if it gets really bad winters there. I mean, there's places that get really, really bad during the winter. So it makes you think, those places, are they not that bad because of how bad the winter is and affects the walkers really bad? Or does it not faze them at all. I mean, you can have humans freeze to death. I mean, people who live on the streets, there's been a lot of incidents where they frozen to death because they can't keep their body temperature warm enough and they freeze while they're sleeping in the night. And so you'd think, wouldn't a decaying corpse that came back to life freeze to death too? I don't know. It makes you wonder. Another thing I wanted to ask would be, if the zombie apocalypse did happen, what percentage of the people do you think would actually call them walkers, or rotters, or biters, or geeks, or lame brains, or skin eaters, and all the things they've called them in the show? Would you think people would actually call them zombies, or would they call them the different names they've heard throughout The Walking Dead, or come up with their own name? Personally, I would call them walkers. I mean, I tend to call them walkers more than zombies. So I'd probably be part of that few people that call them walkers. And another thing I've been thinking about, what zombies would you prefer to have in the zombie apocalypse? Would you rather have the Walking Dead zombies, the Last of Us zombies, where they have like the bloaters and the clickers and all them? Those are freaking creepy. Or like the World War Z zombies, where they change, I think they turn within 10 seconds. I fell asleep through that movie, but I got the gist of it. And then when they piled on top of each other to get over that wall that was around that city, I think. I don't remember. But personally, I would prefer Walking Dead walkers, zombies, because they're creepy as fuck. And they are very, very intimidating and very dangerous when you're in a giant horde of them, yes. But I mean, would you rather be in a horde of bloaters or clickers from The Last of Us, or the ones in World War Z, or the Walking Dead walkers? I don't know. Personally, I would prefer the Walking Dead walkers. They seem less menacing than the other ones. But yeah, I'm really interested to find out if the snow or winter would actually have an effect on zombies. Because like we said, they're already dead. They're decaying corpses walking around wanting human or animal flesh. I mean, in the winter, there's not going to be that many things out there that they can eat. Plus it's the wind, blizzards, snow. I mean, it's freezing half the time. I mean, it's November here. We haven't had any snow, but it's fucking cold as hell. And I mean, I think it would have a big effect on them personally. If you think about it and look at the facts, I don't need to repeat myself, but if you think about it, I really do think that it would have a big effect on them more than it would have on us. Because, I mean, obviously, when walkers come back, they're not the smartest creatures. They know how to move, they know how to eat, and they know how to sense whether you're alive or dead. They can tell the difference between if you're alive or if you're a walker. But I don't think they have the smarts to know when to hide in a shelter when it's freaking cold out or raining or snowing. So obviously they're always going to be roaming around unless they're stuck. But I mean, personally, I think that the winter would definitely slow them down, if not have a bigger effect on them. But that's definitely something that someone needs to ask, like Robert or Scott, in an interview, because I need to know. I need this answered. But I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you think the winter would slow down the walkers? What would you prefer, Walking Dead, The Last of Us, or World War Z zombies? And what do you think you would call the zombies if the actual apocalypse happened? Personally, I think I would call them walkers. I think the winter would slow them down, and I would prefer Walking Dead zombies. But that's just me. But yeah, let me know in the comments down below, guys. And if you like these videos, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.